Yo, what's happening, family? Back at you again, this bro Rob. And I was inspired to do this stream based on what Brother Gab Talk Media did the other day about him, and I wanted to do a stream, about me, you know what I mean? So I can let people know where I stand on certain issues and topics and the way that I'm going to handle myself when I'm out here on YouTube. You know what I mean? And I'm of course I'm waiting for a couple of other people to get on. You know what I'm saying? But let me see. I had to set up so I could look at the chat or whatever. You know what I mean? So I'm all good now. But man, it was just tripping out with my kids, a second ago, and we was in the crib. We was talking, and we was talking about how aggressive, you know, some Chicago people are. You know what I mean? And we can't help that. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Here, we aggressive. You know what I'm saying? We aggressive by nature. You know what I'm saying? And man, peace, sister. How you doing this evening? And I wanted to make sure that I went on live before brother JT come this evening with the evening conversations. I look forward to the conversations that we have on Sundays. You know, last Sunday, um, it was kind of misread a little bit, some comments that was made, so it wasn't as impactful. Well, I guess it depends on the way that you look at it, you know. But uh look, it was we was talking again about how Chicago people how aggressive we are in conversation, and peace I see, and love for checking in with me. And look, right, this is something that always happen, right, when you dealing with a Chicago cat, right? If they say, yeah, all right, hey, it's not over, you know what I mean? I just thought that was funny, man. Look, peace, good brother Gab Talk Media. We was talking about that in the crib just a second ago, and it had came up in discussion, like some of the stuff that we say. You know what I'm saying? To let you know, like, man, the situation is not resolved yet. You know, and and that's one of it. So, say for instance, right? I'm just giving you an example, right? And this just Chicago. This is just how we get down, right? Uh, uh, you didn't get into it with somebody out and had some words, and then at the end you like, man, Joe, I just want I just want it to just be over, man. It's cool, like saying my fault. And then they turn and look at you and they be like, yeah, all right, hey, the next time you see that person, man, my suggestion, right? Man, you better cross the street. You know what I mean? Because it ain't over. You know what I mean? If they be like, yeah, all right, hey, you better, man, you better have your head on a swivel. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's funny. And then second thing, man, we take everything so literal here. You know what I mean? You have to really watch what you say, and then you have to know where you at and who you dealing with. You know what I mean? But another thing that happened a lot here in Chicago, and for people who don't know, right? We call everybody Joe, and it really depends on the way that they say it to you. You know what I'm saying? We call everybody Joe. Everybody is Joe here, right? So if they walk up to you, they don't know you from a can of paint, and they just walk up to you and be like, "Man, what's up, Joe?" You know, they know your name, not Joe. You know what I mean? But if they walking up to you and they asking you what's up, Joe, hey, you better act like you know what I'm saying. You Joe Clark or something on the real. You know what I'm saying? Because it's about to be something. I just man, you know what I'm saying. It really depends on the way they say it to you. So if they be like, man, what's up, Joe? You know? and they don't follow it up with another question, they just really trying to see what you want. But if they come up to you and it sound aggressive, man, what's up, Joe? You know, they say it with a deep voice at the end and the Joe kind of quick, right? What's up, Joe? You know what I'm saying? Quick like that. Oh man, G. Hey, you better be ready. You better be ready. You know what I mean? And then, like, right, it's so many things that we put stuff on. Oh man. So man, on my cousin, you know what I'm saying? On my dead homies, on my shouties, on phone them, on phone them. You know what I'm saying? If they putting something on something like that, man, Joe, it's important that you understand like the context of the conversation because it can mean like that everybody just joking around, or it could mean that it's about to be a serious situation. You know what I mean? So man, that's tripped out that y'all called each other Joe or Mo in DC. Cause Mo means something completely different here, you know what I'm saying? Like when I was a shorty, I was a Blackstone, you know what I'm saying, from 079 block. And we called ourselves the Mo's, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta have your head on a swivel. And the other thing about Chicago people, and this is why Nyla, man, this is why she you know, rub people the wrong way, right? Man, we some bottom line thinkers here. You know what I mean? Man, we deal with the bottom fucking line, Joe. I mean, that's just what it is. Like, it don't make no sense to be talking about all that peripheral stuff and you ain't dealt with the bottom line. So, us Chicago people, that's what we deal with. We deal with the bottom line. Is it good? Good. Well, we moving. Is it bad? Well, fuck it then. We moving on. You know what I'm saying? Like, we deal with the bottom line, Joe. That's what we deal with. And I do my best to try to be intellectual uh on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to give you the better version of myself. You know, I wouldn't have had any interest in YouTube and sharing ideas uh when I was a young lion, you know what I'm saying, in them streets. I wouldn't have had no interest. So y'all wouldn't have never even got to know me. You know what I'm saying? But now that I've been out here in the community and I feel like I'm growing, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm growing every day and I'm learning a lot, you know. That is the persona, I should say, that I try my best to stay in character, and the character that I'm trying to become, a better man. The character I'm trying to become is somebody that's you know reserved and slow to judge and quick to love, and I'm just looking to share some ideas with like-minded individuals. Now, granted, I'm not gonna agree with everything that y'all say. I'm not gonna agree. I have formulated my own opinions based on research, based on conversations with people that I feel like I couldn't hold a candle to. You know what I mean? Like just keep in mind, I didn't study under some great teachers, so I have a somewhat a refined approach to the way that I do research, you know, and dealing with history, so to speak, right? I had a very um challenging teacher in high school. I went to Lindblom. It's on the south side of Chicago, but at the time when I was going there, it was the third ranked high school here in Chicago. And Chicago have some very good high schools. For people who don't know, um, it's a school that you have to test to get in. And while I was at Lindblom, let's just say that if the teacher called on you in class and you didn't know the answer, it was frowned upon. People would look at you like, What the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't do the reading, you didn't study, you didn't take no notes. People will offer you notes if you didn't know if you didn't had an answer. And so the history teacher I had that I'm talking about, we affectionately called him Mr. BJ, but his name was Mr. B. N. Kenny. Mr. B. N. Kenny was was German, but he had a very deep understanding of history. And I studied history, um, with my dad, and and I was versed. You know what I'm saying? I spent a lot of time in the crib. I stayed on punishment, so I spent a lot of time in the crib. And my pops made it a requirement to do some reading while I'm in the house. I ain't just gonna be sitting in the house watching TV. He was like, "No, turn that TV off. He'll pick that book up, and I'm gonna show y'all some of the books that I got from from my studies when I was a young man. So as a young man, I knew who H. Rap Brown was. As a young man, I'm talking about 11, 12 years old. I knew who Robert F. Williams was. And my government name Robert Williams. So it struck a chord with me knowing who he was. My sister, she also had a great impact on me, and she's an avid reader, but she read like horror like Dean Koontz and stuff like that, Stephen King and stuff like that. I didn't have any interest in that, and she knew that, and so she bought me Nathan Macaulay's book, Make You Wanna Holler. And in reading that book, I could see myself, in that brother's shoes. His story, it spoke to me, you know? And so that being said, that kind of lit the fire for me to start reading. And fresh out of high school into college, I went to Southern Illinois' Edwardsville. It's near St. Louis. Down there, I was with some five percenters every day. I was with some Rastafarians every day. At the time, I was a Christian, a so-called Christian, and I was one of those kids that I taught Sunday school, and I was took to church. My parents took me to church. They didn't, take me and leave me there. They were active members and still are active members of New Friendship Baptist Church. Um, it's on the south side of Chicago. It's on 71st Street. Um, it's in between Peoria and Green. It's right before you get to Halsted Street. All right, so a lot of people are familiar with Halsted, but yeah, that is where I grew up and I got my foundation. I will never forget my foundation. Um, although I grew up as a Christian and I don't claim to be a Christian now, I still believe in a creator, an ultimate creator, a architect of the universe, if you will. The reason being is because and this is just my personal opinion, and I'm just being transparent with y'all today. Um, the reason why I believe it's an architect of the universe, a master creator, um, is because the universe is too ordered. And then you can look at all of the trinities represented in the universe. Sun, moon, stars, man, woman, child, earth, wind, fire. And it just cannot be a coincidence with all of these different trinities and things of that nature. So not to go too deep into that, but I just say that is the reason why I believe in a ultimate creator. I've never seen a Big Bang produce ordered ordered nature. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't have a firecracker in your hand and it go off and you still have five fingers. Like it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Usually when it's a big bang, you know, it's some chaos. And so because of that chaos, with the Big Bang, um, in my opinion, this is my opinion, that the creator took those materials from that Big Bang and ordered things, and so this is why I have that belief, but I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a Christian or a Muslim or a five percenter or anything like that. I would just say that I'm spiritual in the way that I approach things. I try to put out good energy, you know, and uh, and I try to have the most appropriate things to say. Um, Cause see, people don't realize, I guess, but I mean, I'm always cognizant of it that you have to be very careful about what you say. Cause once you say it, right, it's out there in the ether now, right? And it's gonna be observed it's gonna be absorbed in somebody's ears and echoed in their mind. And you can't take that process back once you say it. You see what I mean? So you'll notice, excuse me, you'll notice that I pause sometimes when I'm talking because I want to make sure that what I'm about to say um gets me closer to being understood. That's a pet peeve of mine, and I guess that's why I talk so much or I'm long-winded because I try to thoroughly explain what it is I'm thinking about, you know? Um, I also believe in effective communication. Man, that's so important. I feel like effective communication, sometimes we be communicating and it's not effective. It's not effective. Look, right, if I ask you what time it is and you tell me it's Tuesday, I mean, you responded. We conversing, but that's not the information that I was looking for. So I believe in effective communication. And forgive me, I will. Like if we in conversation like one on one, I will ask some clarifying questions and piercing questions to get to the bottom of it. Like I told you, here in Chicago, we bottom line thinkers, Joe. That's just the way we think. That's the way, man, Joe. What's the bottom line? Fuck all that other shit. Like, man, like, your feelings and your affiliations and your ideologies. And I mean, that's great that you got those, but you know, I asked you what time it is. Don't tell me it's Tuesday. That's what I'm saying. So I believe in effective communication. I think that's important. Um, and then in terms of me dealing with people that might have dissenting opinions, right? To be more specific, right? You completely disagree with my stance on anything, right? Let's just bring it to the table. Let's just bring it to the table and let's just lay it all out. This is how I feel, this how you feel. Yeah, this where we agree at, this where we disagree at. You say something maybe to support your opinion a little bit more. I'm willing to hear you out. I'm willing to listen to you. But at the same time, I'm looking for you to reciprocate. That's what I'm looking for you to do. I'm looking for you to reciprocate. And so what I mean is, you got to listen to me now. I listen to you. You got to listen to me now. And I know that uh the way maybe I might present information, I might come off as a little crass or maybe a little arrogant. Um, maybe I just might sound like a complete asshole. I'm not trying to be an asshole. It's just this is the information. And I'm just working on my delivery. You know what I'm saying? Look at it like that. Charge it to my head, not to my heart. I don't have anything against you personally because I don't know you personally. You know? And speaking on those terms, right? Man, it's some brothers that I get down with on here. You know what I mean? I get down with my guy DS1. You know what I'm saying? Me and him have a lot of similar views on a lot of topics. We might not agree on everything, but we haven't got to that point yet. To where we disagree on how we should proceed. And so now we didn't hit a bump in the road. We haven't hit a bump in the road. yet. I'm not anticipating that we are, but what I'm telling you is that I feel like we got a healthy understanding of each other. You know what I'm saying? My good brother JT, you know what I'm saying? That's another brother that I get down with. Been supporting him since day one, you know what I mean? And again, we might not agree on everything, but I respect that brother's opinion. You know what I'm saying? You know, Gab Talk, man. The man reached out to me and interviewed me on his channel. And man, you know what I'm saying? I broke it down to him, whatever he was asking me, I broke it down to him as honestly as I could. You know what I'm saying? Forever how long we was talking. And I just believe in being honest. But that's another good brother that I get down with. Me and him, it seems like we had similar upbringings and things of this nature. You know, he grew up in an urban setting, I grew up in an urban setting. And so our value systems seem to be similar. You know what I'm saying? So that's another brother that I get down with. And there's a lot of voices that I listen to on here, and I respect your opinion. And then it's some of y'all that I don't honestly agree with hardly anything you have to say, you know? And I'm not gonna name any names because I didn't go and take them, take it to them directly, And if I did take it with, it's a couple of people. Yeah, I can name names that I disagree with directly, right? And I hollered at them on the back chat. You know what I'm saying? And DS1 and JT can tell you, that's my proof. You know what I'm saying? That's my proof. You know, I had an issue with a brother calling me out my name. Called him on the back chat one day, like, "Hey, so you think I'm a bitch, huh?" You know what I'm saying? Straight like that. Brung it to him. I ain't gonna do that shit in front of y'all on YouTube. I'm just simply not gonna do that. Right? He told me it was his account got hacked and all of. So as a man, I took him at his word. Maybe his account did get hacked, right? And the issue didn't come up again. Now, had it came up again, we would have had a very different conversation. You know, um, I don't proclaim to be any kind of tough guy or anything like that. Let's just say though that if we had an issue, you know what I'm saying? I'm willing to resolve it with you by any means necessary. Let's just say that. You know what I'm saying? I done seen a whole lot. So I try to avoid drama. I know how that story end. I know how it end, right? It's escalation. If anybody study history, in my humble opinion, I feel like Hammurabi is the person that we can look to and say he's the one that instituted escalation into society by writing the Hammurabi laws. And this is why I would say that, right? If you have to write a law to say, hey, you can't sleep with another man's wife, right? Then the person that look at the law and say, well, okay, I'm gonna convince her to get divorced. You see what I mean? And so in doing that, Hammurabi inadvertently entered escalation into society. You know what I'm saying? You find out where the line at, and then you go up to that line. You know what I mean? And like if we get into a fight, you beat me up, I get a knife. I cut you up, you get a gun. You get a gun, I get a bomb. I get a bomb, you get an atomic bomb. You get an atomic bomb, I get a nuclear bomb. Where does it end? Do you see? And so this is why, Brother Rob, I am going to avoid any drama with you niggas. In my mind, I feel like you can be salvaged once your mind get wrapped around uh trying to be more acquiescent, if you will. I love big words sometimes, you know what I'm saying? You gonna have to get with the program, basically. I'm not your enemy, so I'm not about to fight you. I'm not about to fight you. And then speaking on these lines, right? Will you catch Brother Rob exposing niggas on YouTube and all of this type of thing? No, you will not. You will not catch me exposing people on YouTube. That's just not my lane. Now, some people need to be exposed, especially if their information or if their products or if their services are damaging to the community. Yes, yes, they need to be exposed. I can see why certain people have to be exposed. But then at the same time, if you exposing them just because they don't share your ideology, right? That's the weakest shit known to man to me. And the reason being is because if they got information you don't agree with, just get a counter argument together and come back to YouTube. Why do you gotta go personal with it? I know why. Because you don't have any information. That's why. That's why. That's why I gotta go personal in some instances. You know what I'm saying? Not in all, but in some instances. That's why I go personal, you know? Like me and Chief Holiday. I can still call that dude up and we can have a civil discussion. But me and Chief Holiday don't agree on pretty much anything. But I can still have a talk with that brother. You know what I mean? I can still, we can still sit there and have a civil discussion. Of course, he gonna start yelling, then I'm gonna start yelling. But eventually, you know what I'm saying? We'll come to the agreement that we're gonna disagree. Whereas some of these other dudes, though, man, I don't know what to say. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know what to say. And I know what it is. I mean, I got an idea of what it is. What it is because I don't view things the way that you view them, you consider me your enemy. I'm not going to I'm not going to try to change your mind though. You know what I mean? That's not I don't do that. I'm not trying to change anybody mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not going to do that. If you want to believe I'm your enemy, cool. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the benign neglect tactic with you. You gonna be saying shit about me. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna treat you like a baby. I'm just not gonna say anything to you. You know what I'm saying? Baby just crying and crying. I done fed him. I done changed his diaper. You know what I'm saying? I didn't talk with him. I done read with the baby. I know ain't nothing wrong with him. They just sleepy. This what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna just let the baby cry himself or herself to sleep. I'm not about to rock you because you gonna expect for me to rock you every time. No, no. We are grown people. We are grown people and we are in a process, you know, we are in a process of healing. And so think about it like if you was thinking about a caterpillar that's about to change into a butterfly, right? What here it is, the caterpillar. Now they didn't then went into their little ball and they're about to pop out a butterfly, you know what I'm saying, in a couple of days. What if you interrupt the process? They gonna come out as something weird looking. You see, sometimes you gotta leave people in they cocoon because they process not over yet. Just cause yours over and you ready to fly, they might not be ready to fly yet. Leave they ass in that cocoon. You know what I'm saying? Cause if you interrupt the process, they gonna come, they gonna come out of that cocoon and they gonna be all slimy and weird looking. They not a caterpillar, they not a butterfly, they something in between. See, and this is where in between thinking, right? The Bible say that they'll spew you out your mouth for being lukewarm. That the Lord will spew you out of his mouth for being lukewarm. See, it's like if you walking down that dotted line on the expressway. You know what I'm saying? It's a good chance that your ass about to get hit. You see? That's why people always see we don't look at it the exact right way. Stay in your lane. Do your best work. You see? When I'm out here on YouTube, I don't have to front or try to impress anybody or not worrying about piss anybody off because I'm being myself. What you see is what you get. You see my avatar, you see them two faces to my left and right? That's my youngest on my left and my oldest on my right. Yeah. What you see is what you get. I'm a family man. I work at an alternative school. I'm the dean of students at that school. I also teach black studies after school. I also I'm the head coach of our flag football team. I'm the assistant basketball coach. I sent 3 young men to college for playing basketball at an alternative school last year. I done sent many kids to college. I done set many kids up to be business owners or potential business owners in the years to come. I done registered many kids to vote. I done counseled many kids out of suicide, out of gangs, out of prostitution, out of drug use. That's me. I'm not bragging. I'm not showing you, oh, this is what I do. I don't, if you see on the video, the students expose Brother Rob. I don't say anything personal about them. You see? But them same kids that you see on them videos, right? They got very specific challenges. They got very specific challenges. Now, I'm not bragging, right? One of the young men in the video, right? He's fighting He's fighting a serious case, a felony right now. He's fighting a very serious case. And I'm hoping that everything go well. You know what I'm saying? One of the young ladies on there, she used to be heavily involved in gangs here in Chicago. I went and hollered at the law for her. You know what I'm saying? So that she could come to school. Because he was expecting her to keep, doing what she was doing to make sure that the nation got a couple of dollars. You did? So I can't go all into detail. I'm hoping that some of y'all can read between the lines. But that's my life for real. You see, my money, my time, my energy, my thoughts, my emotions. That's where they at. That's where they at. They with my family first, right? And then the work that I do second. And I say that take up about 18 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? On the real. I'm not making this shit up. I'm not trying to pin no roses on myself today. As you can see the title, about Brother Rob. Yeah. Because it's a possibility, right? That one of them might have a one of these accounts and just seeing what Dean Williams doing so that they can go and tell all of their friends what I be saying on YouTube. So that's why I gotta watch what I say and how I say it. You see? Because they might be looking at me. So my responsibility, right, to our young people, I have to take it everywhere I go. In the store, in the club, on the block. You see? Yeah. Yeah. Cause see, if they catch me coming out the club stumbling drunk, right? They just driving by with their mama in the car. You know what I'm saying? And they see me stumbling drunk in the parking lot or fighting in McDonald's parking lot. You know what I'm saying? Man, that's detrimental to what I'm trying to do on a daily basis. I'm Black Power professionally. Do you see what I'm saying? Hey, do y'all know who Dr. Lenore Bennett is. His idea of education is what I use. That's partly the way that I approach my position at the school and in life. If you're not trying to be a revolutionary, right? You are acquiescing to the oppressor. In essence, I'm paraphrasing Dr. Lenore Bennett. Also, another person that I look to for wisdom on how to approach education. Dr. Barbara Sizemore. It's another ancestor that I look to for wisdom. I don't know it all. I admit that I know a little bit about something. You know, do I got something smart to say? Hey, Brother Rob is no dummy. But I don't go throwing that shit in people's face. Like, aha, I done read 1,200 books. Like, aha, I'm smarter than you. Like, I don't do that fucking, that shit weak to me. You know what I'm saying? That shit weak to me. What difference do it make how many books I done read? You know what I'm saying? If I'm versed in an area and I hear you speaking in error, right? I don't go and just say, well, no, that shit wrong than a motherfucker. Your ass dumb. No, I approach it with humility. And I say, well, based on my research, and in this book, the author is saying XYZ, such and such, you know what I'm saying, so on and so forth. But I don't go and attack people because of what they don't know. I did a presentation back a little couple of months ago now on Africans are not indigenous to America. And then I was gonna do it on Sister Soul channel, right? Man, peace, good brother. Man, glad that you fell through on the check-in. But um I was trying to do it on Sister Soul channel. And he told me not to call him my brother. His name was Golden Cougar, whatever that means. And he was from Jamaica and he said that his people told him that he was a Native American. And I'm like, well, man, that's great for you. Um, but let me go on with my presentation. And that brother was one of the people that got me out of my character on here on YouTube. Now, let me say this too, man. Let me say this too, right? And this ain't no, I'm not flogging here, man. I ain't telling y'all this shit just to be trying to make it seem like I'm some type of tough guy, you know. But look, man, your guy, bro, Rob, man, I'm a plug thug. Let's just say that, man. I'm a plug thug. You know what I mean? Everywhere I done been in this city, you know what I'm saying, where I stay at in Chicago, right? Um, um, let's just say that people seem to respect me, you know what I'm saying, based on some activities that I was involved with and in when I was younger. And so now, if they knew I was on YouTube and somebody was talking crazy, like they gonna come to Chicago and whoop me or they being disrespectful, I can't control what these young lions gonna do. I can't control them. You know, look, right? You know what I'm saying? You start talking about where you from and all that, and you talking crazy to your guy, man, it's a good chance, right? They gonna look you up, fam, and they'll be in your city, Joe. These young niggas here, they don't care. You see, I'm trying to work with them. So that's why I be very careful about what I say on here. Cause I don't want you to take it the wrong way and say something that might get you hurt and you don't even understand why. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't talk tough Tony with niggas. I just don't do it. You know what I mean? Cause it's a good chance you don't understand what you getting yourself into, you know what I'm saying, dealing with me. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't talk tough Tony with people. You know what I'm saying? I don't. You know what I'm saying? If I even got to talking like, hey Joe, man, there was a dude on YouTube, they'll be like, yeah, what name he go under? All right, you know what I'm saying? And then the next thing you know, G, they on the road, bro. They on the road because they don't work a job. Do you see? They get money, but they don't work a job. I'm hoping that y'all reading between the lines. You know, they don't have nothing else to talk about. They don't have nothing else to do. They not doing live streams. You dig? You know what I'm saying? So they don't have nothing but time. And they can take time out of their endeavors to come and get at you. So that's why good brother Rob, right? That's why I be saying peace, good brother. And oh, well, sorry to offend if I did. It's not because I'm a coward, you know? It's not because I'm a coward. I just want to say that. And you better understand too that you dealing with a man. You dealing with a man when you dealing with me, right? I ain't and the reason I'm saying it like that is to make sure that I'm not being misunderstood. So what do that mean? That number one, by me saying that I'm a man, I hold myself responsible first. I'm not looking to point no blame at nobody until I done made sure that my ducks are in a row and that my shit straight here first, right? But then once I know that I didn't do anything or say anything to get you to be on that bullshit, uh, you know, I don't have no problem with telling the truth on anybody. And if it escalate from there, that's on you. Cause like I told you, I'm doing my best to not escalate anything ever. You know what I'm saying? To not escalate anything ever, right? The only thing I'm trying to escalate is this. Let me find out that I can work with you. Let me find out that you a dreamer like me. Let me find that out. Then that's when I'm gonna blow you up, fam. That's when I'm gonna be on your heels, fam. You know what I'm saying? And people that I can't work with, people that, are opposed to working together or gonna tell me how it ain't gonna work before we even try it yet, right? Those are the people that I reserve that benign neglect for. Man, thank you very much, Queen. I appreciate that. But that's who I reserve that benign neglect for. You know what I mean? If I find out we can't work together, this is what I'm gonna do. Please let me know that, number one. I want to say that out loud. Please let me know that you don't want to work with me. Because once you let me know that, then that let me know how much harder I gotta work. I'm gonna work harder now. When I find out that me and you can't connect, oh man, good. Cause now that give me more energy, more motivation, more inspiration to be on what I'm on anyway. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I love what I do professionally. It's tough work, y'all. It's tough work. All of these different personalities that they have, and all of these different ideologies that they have in this society, this reality that we just set up for them, where each is on and everybody has a choice. And hey, it's rules in nature. It's rules to everything, right? People with alternative lifestyles and things of this nature, right? Now, oh man, I said alternative lifestyles already, so the can is cracked open, right? I'm not knocking anybody for what you do in your bedroom. Because what you do, that's your personal business. And trust and believe, Brother Rob, I'm not concerned with how you get down in the privacy of your own home. But when you try to force me to agree with something that goes against nature. Nature is undefeated. When you try to force me to agree, you know, I'm never going to agree. I'm not going to come on YouTube and tell you how much I don't agree, but I'm never going to agree. Never, never. And the reason being is because you wouldn't be here unless it was nature that got you here. Somebody got a seed and somebody got a womb. And those two things go together. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on that, right? Um, these new age ideologies, flat earth theory, we are indigenous and things of this nature. Look, man, that is a ongoing conversation that the community is going to continue to have. And what we have to do is be clinical about it, be researchers about it, and be earnest when the information is presented. And what I mean by earnest is this, and I'm about to shut it down in a second, but what I mean by earnest is this. When you hear some new information that might conflict with what you previously understood to be true, this is a time, if you consider yourself wise, to change the way you think. Because not only are you going to do what not only are you going to improve yourself, but the example of you improving yourself and empowers others to accept this new information, especially if it's powerful and impactful and can change the trajectory of your life. I don't know, I don't know the path for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, this stream was about me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know everybody else's path. And I'm not gonna front on you for being on your journey, right? But don't come over here trying to tell me how I supposed to travel and the equipment I supposed to be taking and the light I supposed to be following. And hey, look, I'm not gonna do that to you. And please don't try to do that to me. All you gonna do is make yourself upset. And you might mess around and get embarrassed because I have a refined, researched opinion. I don't be shooting out the hip, fam. I don't shoot from the hip. If you hear me speaking, it's based on experience or research. Other than that, Brother Rob gonna shut the fuck up. I know how to do that. I know how to listen. See, listening is the foundation for learning. Learning is a process. It don't just happen. It don't just happen, right? And this is the process. First you listen, then you remember, and based off what you remember, then you apply it. That is a process. It is a system. That's what black folks, we got to get away from the symbol and we got to get to the system. We got to get away from the symbol and we got to get to the system. And get case in point, Barack Obama. Oh, Barack Obama didn't do nothing for the black community. Black Obama. That's because we are politically naive. Everybody know we got a two-party system. What party was going to empower black folks? Which one? Who, Republicans, Democrats, they was going to empower us? Obama was a Democrat. Do you see? So what we got to do is look at it. He was a symbol and use it for our good. A symbol to tell our young people you can be whatever you want to be. But then add on to that message and say, but what you want to be is some type of help, some type of motivation, inspiration, some type of empowering figure for our community. Be whatever it is that you want to be. but make sure that you don't forget your people. So that's Brother Rob. You know, man, thank you very much, good brother Malik, for your words, brother. Um, I don't know it all. I don't know it all. Now it might sound like I know some shit. I do. I realize that I know some shit, right? But I don't go rubbing that shit in nobody's face, right? And I'm looking to learn. I'm looking to learn. I'm listening to learn. I'm waiting for you to say something that I ain't never heard before so I can digest that into my spirit and become a more powerful being. Yes. That's what I'm looking for. So that's my whole purpose of being on YouTube. I'm looking to learn and I'm looking to build with like minds. And if all I'm gonna have is 200 subscribers, well, goddamn it, that's what I'm gonna have. And we gonna go with our 200 and do a powerful work. You know what I'm saying? A very, very famous story. You know what I'm saying? Very famous story. Nat Turner, once he had broke out, they had their meeting before they went to go and start their raid. Say it was 1,000 people there. Nat Turner say, "Are y'all ready for revolution?" And the whole crowd was like, "Yeah, yeah, we ready for revolution. We ready." Right? And then turns to the crowd, he say, "How many of y'all are willing to give your life?" And the whole crowd like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm ready to live. I'm ready to give my life. I'm ready to shed my blood." He say, "All right, how many of y'all are willing to go and kill the oppressor?" And so about 900 of the 1,000 people were still cheering, "Yeah, I'm ready to kill the oppressor." So Nat Turner points to the 100 that wasn't cheering, and he said, "Hey, that's our biggest opposition right there." It's a very famous story. You know, what I'm hoping is, is that anything and everything that I say is geared towards our progression. I'm a progressive in my thinking, um, and I try to be positive in my speaking. And then I try to be impactful in my actions. So that's Brother Rob in a nutshell. You know what I mean? And from time to time, um, I do, man. I get a little beside myself. I might get a little angry and say some things out of anger, but I will quickly try to recognize that, and I'm working on it. You know, but I will quickly try to recognize that and come back to getting in character. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so with that being said, man, I appreciate everybody for rocking out with me this long. I'm about to shut it down now. Y'all go and check out my good brother JT later on this evening with our Sunday conversation. I'm sure he didn't probably cooked up something good. You know what I'm saying? I had a little extra time today because the Bears wasn't playing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I watched the Bears. You know what I'm saying? I know people got feelings about the NFL or whatever, but I'm a Chicago kid, so I support our team. And I feel like the Bears are doing good work. They one of the few teams that maxed out the money that the NFL was willing to put into the community. And I'm working with their public relations right now to try to get some of that money over to my school. You know what I'm saying? I try to use everything for the upliftment of our people, everything and anything, any resource that I can use, man, I'm trying to find it. And if you got some resources for me, my email, what I'm saying, is rwill08@gmail.com. Hit me up. You know what I'm saying? I love to hear from you because I'm trying to bring as many resources to my students as possible. If you're in the Chicagoland area, and you feel like you have something impactful to impart to my students, we have a Wednesday speaker series. You know what I'm saying? And I would love for you to come and speak to my students about what you do professionally and how they can some things that they can look at career wise, business wise, what have you, in terms of employment after they graduate high school. So we got a Wednesday speaker series. Um, we got a little love offering that we offer people. That's why I said if you're gonna be in the Chicagoland area, I couldn't fly you in and put you in a hotel to come and speak to them. But I mean, if you in the Chicagoland area and you got a little time on a Wednesday morning, man, it would be love for you to come through and speak with my kids. But with that being said, I look forward to the Sunday conversation with brother JT later on this evening. Um, always you can always hit your good brother Bribe up. You know what I'm saying? I'm always willing to converse or build with anybody. And I hope this gave y'all a window into my mind a little bit more. Just getting to know everybody, let y'all know where I stand. And with that, I'm gonna sign off.